welcome to my tarot corner. So this is the original Neo Rider tarot, and if you remember, I showed you the fake one, and now you'll see why I bought the fake one, because this one is really hard to shuffle, and this is the gilded one. And I'm using this for this reading, and I have to say that I listened to Bookworm's latest video, and I can understand how she feels. And she's really fed up with the royals, with Harry and Meghan. She has had it up to here, and I can really, really relate to that. But A.G. Tudor keeps on saying that the palace has very good consultants, and I can also relate to that. And some people think that A.G. Tudor himself is consulting them, which I won't be surprised. What happened in the past few days is that you know that the Queen's speech, as it used to be, or now the King's speech, used to be alternating between ITV and the BBC, and every 2 years it would change between ITV and the BBC. This year was ITV's turn. And then, in the last moment, King Charles notified the ITV that he won't be doing the speech through them, but he called BBC and asked them to do the speech through them, which is a great thing, because this is the first Christmas speech of a new king. This is really a huge thing, and this is a big loss for ITV. Now, today, Neil Sean, in his video, claimed that this is because ITV are planning an interview between that Tom Bradby will interview Prince Harry for ahead of the outcome of the book, the publishing of Spare. And they also planned, apparently, to put trailers for the interview around the King's speech, before and after the King's speech. And the King wouldn't allow that. So he decided that instead of going as was supposed to be with ITV, he decided to do it with BBC. But he also did that in the very last moment. And this shows that, as someone said, the Sussexes play checkers, the king is playing chess. So, you know, despite the fact that many people think that the king is weak, and the fact that he's inviting them to the coronation shows that he's weak, I don't think so. I really don't. And I've been saying all along that he should invite them to the coronation, that he shouldn't punish Harry, because that will make him look as a vindictive king. No, he should do these kind of maneuvers. He should do these, pull out aces out of his sleeves, but not come outright and punish them and take out these titles right away, because I think that the titles should go, but after the coronation. So it won't be seen as if he is vindictive, as if he is going after them. It should take some time after the book comes out, after the Netflix live commentary, and then people will see that, you know, time has lapsed, and the king is already a year on the throne, and the coronation has passed, and they will keep on with their shenanigans, and then those titles can go, and he can come out with all of the other aces in the sleeve. But I'm going to do this reading from ITV's CEO's point of view. And I'm going to, and as I said, the reading is called What the F, and I'm going to look at it from their point of view, because they are the one who are now left without nothing, or just left with an interview between Tom Bradby and Prince Harry, which I'm not sure how many people will tune into. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's clear the deck. Hopefully I won't be spreading the cards all over. Okay, so how do the ITV managers and the CEO feel about the king canceling his Christmas speech that was supposed to be aired through ITV? Do they feel that they made a mistake by having Harry interviewed by Tom Bradby? Do they feel that they did a mistake by trying to promote that interview around the King's speech? How do the... Okay, wait. Okay, I knew it would happen. So once again, how do ITV managers and CEOs feel about the king canceling his Christmas speech that was supposed to be aired through ITV? Do they feel that they made a mistake by deciding to interview Prince Harry? Do they feel that they made a mistake by trying to promote that interview around the king's speech? How do ITV's managers and CEO feel about the king's canceling his Christmas speech that was supposed to air through ITV this year? Okay, so let's cut the deck. And the first card, as before, this is the same spread, What the F? And the first card is current situation. And the current situation is the Three of Cups. And it came up reversed, which is kind of, okay, the whole of the deck is reversed. So it seems like, well, we will see what the other cards are, but it seems like right now they are still celebrating the fact that they did get Harry's interview, and they are not really paying attention right now to the loss of the king's speech. This is celebration, this is having fun, this is pleasures of life. It's still not negatively aspected, so I cannot say the negative aspects of this card. If the next cards will be negative, I will start saying the negative aspects of this card. But right now, it seems like right now they are celebrating. They feel that they played the upper hand. So they don't feel that they lost. So how do they feel? How do they really feel? Okay, it's like, where did you really come from? So how do they really feel? And this is justice. So they feel like, okay, so this is justice, and we needed to decide what is more important to us. And this the interview between Harry and Tom Bradby was more important. Justice is about being very cold. This is about a very cold consideration and cutting out what is not important in their opinion. And in their opinion, Harry's interview is more important than the king's speech. So they had to make a decision, and they made the decision. And the decision that they made was to continue with Harry's interview and to let go of the king's speech. So this is exactly how they felt, and this is why there is the sword here, because this is a very cold-hearted person that is cutting out what is not needed to go forward. This is how they feel. So where do they need more information? And what I'm getting here is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is a card of plan and strategy. Now, because it comes in where they need more information, we need to look at the negative aspects of this card, because this is a card that comes in a negative place of the reading. And the Seven of Swords, when it is negatively aspected, it shows that their plan was access planning. This is a too complicated strategy. They acted cunningly, and because of that, they are failing. This is a card that shows that they tried to conceal, and they tried to act behind the king's back. And this is a card that shows that because of that, they failed. They wanted to catch two birds in one fist, but they failed with that. They decided to stay with Harry's interview instead of King Charles' speech. But this shows that this card, because it's negatively aspected, shows that this is a strategy that is a wrong strategy. And this is something that they should understand. This is something that they should know, that this step is going to lead to failure. People will not tune into Harry's interview. Not as many people as people will tune into the king's speech. Okay, so what can they control? What could they control? And we get the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is a card that speaks about obstacles. So they could have stood they could have been very resilient and stand in front of all of the obstacles that were in front of them. This is something that they could have done. And this is something that they can control. This is something that they can control, so they can stand through those obstacles, and they can still keep standing. But remember that the card that comes after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, which is overload. So they are very much getting closer to the Ten of Wands. But right now they can still control the obstacles that are going through, that are in front of ITV. So this is something that they can control. What is something that they cannot control? And what they cannot control is the Fool. And in this instance, I'm looking at the Fool and I'm thinking the audience. Why is that? Because the Fool is someone who is free-willed. And the audience have the free will to choose who they are watching, who they are deciding to tune into, who they choose in the remote control. And this is something that they cannot control. So this is why I think that about the audience. The Fool is someone who is free, someone who is taking risks, but this is not really something that I am that is speaking to me in this instance, in this reading. And this is actually a negative place, so we need to look at the negative aspects of this card as well. And it is about going against their own belief. So I believe that in a way, And I think that this is out of their control. This was something that maybe the ITV managers or the CEOs thought that their belief was that the king's speech was something that is more important, and deciding to go with Harry's speech was going against their own belief. But this is about people that are not taking responsibility, and this is people that are finding it difficult in taking decisions, and it's kind of against the justice card. So I'm going to look at it as they cannot control the audience, and they cannot control the fact that they went against their inner belief, their inner truth, which is the king is more important, and the Christmas speech of the king and the new king is more important. And this is something that is in them, it's in the British DNA, and it's something that they went against, and pity for them. So what is the lesson that they can learn from? And we get the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is a card that shows us that this is the lesson. And the lesson is that they need to look at reality, and they need to understand that they need to cope with reality. And to look at reality and to cope with reality is to realize that the British people, for example, are not interested in Harry and Meghan anymore. They don't want to see Harry and Meghan anymore. They don't want to hear Harry and Meghan anymore. And I believe that this interview will not be a success. This is what I believe. By the way, I do believe that the book will be a bestseller in the first few weeks, but then it will arrive to the garbage bin very, very quickly. But the British people are not interested. I'm not sure how many of the American people will tune into Harry's Andrew and Cooper Anderson or Andrew Cooper. I'm not sure the name. And 60 Minutes anchor interview. I'm not sure how many people in the US will tune into that interview, but the people of Britain will not tune into this interview because they feel disdain to Harry. They loathe Prince Harry. They hate him. Really, they just don't want to see him anymore. So this is the reality, and ITV managers need to look reality in the face. They need to take off this blindfold and look at reality and cope with reality and realize that they have made a mistake. And this is something that they will have to learn, and unfortunately they will have to learn in the hard way. So this is the tarot. And the angel card is for the king. Okay, so let's just put this aside. Now that we don't... wait a minute. This is the one downside of working with the gilded tarots. I always have to count the cards after working with them to make sure that I haven't lost any one of the cards. Okay, so the angel message is actually for King Charles, because I really do believe that he played a good hand of poker here, or a good chess play. So let's see what kind of message can we give to King Charles. So, clearing the deck. A message for King Charles on his Christmas speech. A message for King Charles on his Christmas speech. And the message is forgiveness and understanding. It's interesting that this card came up right now. And the card says that whatever the situation that feels heavy on your heart right now, when this card appears, the guide is inviting him to release it. He's not being asked to accept bad behavior or to let it go, but to realize that the only person who's truly being affected by his unforgiving thoughts and feelings is him. He doesn't deserve to have past events get in the way of present happiness. And that can only happen if he makes space by releasing painful experiences from his heart. So it doesn't mean that he has to publicly forgive Prince Harry, but maybe inside in his heart to let it go in order to let the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of the holiday enter, and to feel the happiness of being together with the family without feeling the hurt and the heaviness of the betrayal that his son let him feel in the past few weeks. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.